Rock Solid Wrestling fans, I'm very pleased to be joined by former Canadian Tag Team Champion Darko and Tornado. Is that you behind the magazine? Yes, there he is.
You know what? I'm doing some research here. Darko, I got some really good stuff coming for when we get our belts back.
The Norris special.
It's the Chuck Norris special. And look at this. That's what we're going to do to Mikey right there. Can you see that? Look.
Wow.
Grind his ear. I'm grinding his
Gentlemen,
ear.
I really hate to interrupt.
I hope this goes better than when you read that Tony Norris book.
I don't know. Tony Norris.
Please, gentlemen.
I remember him. Hey, my blind dog wants to leave. Get out of here. That's you.
Get that turkey out of the way.
Listen, kung fu training and animal abuse aside, can we please just talk about the year that was 2024 for you guys in Rock Solid Wrestling? One event in February that set the course for the rest of the year for you both was when Jake O'Reilly was injured and unable to compete, leading to the Piss Beaters being stripped of the Canadian Tag Team Championship. And Darko, this led to you having an opportunity to choose your own partner in the new champions match, and you chose Tornado as your partner. So this begs the question, why was Tornado the right guy? And Tornado, why did you seemingly give up what was upward singles career to challenge for the tag team titles?
Tornado is a mentor and a friend and probably the only person in Rock Solid Wrestling I trust. Jake O'Reilly, whatever choices he wants to make, I mean, that's on him. So as always, Rock Solid stacks the deck against me, so I did the next best thing. Grabbed the most talented man in professional wrestling, Tornado, and took him on as my new partner.
Yeah, let me tell you, I'm always there for my brothers, both him and Jake. And you got to understand, Adam, there's a family tree here, okay? You got the Piss Beaters. And then when I come in, it's the Venoms. And me and Jake O'Reilly have competed all over the world as the Deadly Venoms. Mach 1. This is Deadly Venoms Mach 2, where you get Tornado and his best friend right now, by the way, Anthony Darko, who I'm a huge fan of, especially that fist drop. It makes me, I watch that every time before I go to bed. I watch the fist drop. Then you got Mach 3, which is the three of us. And then you got Mach 4, which is when we add Asher Benjamin to the group. And that's the family tree.
Let's talk about Asher Benjamin for a second and where he fits into all of that, because it seemed like in prior years, your partnership with the leader of the Enlightened Army had been tenuous at best. It was kind of self-serving whenever he needed you or you needed him, but there was nothing really concrete there. But this year, you all seem very committed to one another. So what's changed?
Well, Asher Benjamin and I like to drink wine. That's number one. Now, aside from that, do we have anything else in common? Not really. But the man knows how to get you in the main event spotlight. And that's why I thought it was a good idea.
I agree, man. Asher Benjamin on the business side. You know, people who've known me a long time know I'm not very good with the old business thing. You know what I mean? Because I'll beat you up for free. I have no problems with that. The fact that I get paid is like, you know, a fat guy getting a free meal or something. I'm just happy to be there. I'm going to be there anyways, so I might as well get paid, right? And that's where Asher Benjamin comes in.
Well, with Asher Benjamin at your side, you guys did capture the Canadian Tag Team Championship. And then a few short months later in April, the three of you thought you'd really pulled a fast one by not having any challengers because of what had happened earlier on in the night. But Cody Deaner and Tyler Turvis stepped up and challenged you guys and really gave you a run for your money. So I just kind of walk me through a little bit about that night. What do you remember about it? Because I'm sure it came as a surprise to you guys. And then how did your strategy have to change when you realized, oh, we've got two of the greatest single stars in Rock Solid Wrestling teaming up to take us out?
Adam, I actually think you're great at your job. I really do. You do a phenomenal job. We love all the work you do. We appreciate you doing this kind of stuff. It's incredible. You're great. But do you really think for 1 second Tornado and I remember something that happened in April? You realize we get hit in the head for a living, and you realize we're both heavy drinkers. Do you think I have any idea what match you're talking about? Oh, the night Cody Deaner stuck his nose where it didn't belong. Guess what? That's what he does for a living. I am so sick of Cody Deaner. I don't remember what match you're even talking about.
You got that right, man. You know what? If anything, it was two Tinkerbells of rock solid wrestling. I'm telling you, Cody Deaner, give me a break, okay? You haven't been anything for years, okay? And if anything, and Asher told me this too, and you might agree with me, Darko. I think Turva is just learning everything he can from Cody Deaner, and eventually he's going to stab him in the back.
Oh,
And I can see it because he's an arrogant little creep. You know what I mean? And he's going to come out, and he's one day Cody's going to need him, and he won't be there. Venoms come in and smash him to bits. Sorry. I'm telling you, that's what I see. I'm kind of a psychic too, and I'm telling you right now, that's what I think. 2025, Turva turns on Deaner. Easy peasy.
Well, that's quite an interesting prediction for the next year. And speaking of interesting, let's talk about the interesting summer you guys have. Hopefully, we can remember that far back. And while we're on the topic of Cody Deaner, it was him, Eric Young, and Crazy Steve on one side of the ring, and I guess what you would say was the Mach 3 Deadly Venoms on the other side, Tornado, Darko, and Jake O'Reilly. Now, unfortunately for you guys, you didn't quite come up on the victory end of that matchup, and there's a lot of blame being thrown around at the end of that one. So maybe you guys can walk us through your side of the story. What really happened that night?
A miscommunication. That's all that happened. Something was brought in from the outside of the ring. How it got in there, I'm not even sure. My partners found themselves blinded. And then when I was checking them to make sure that they were okay, as a good man would do, things went a little bit awry. That's all that happened. It was an intangible on the outside.
I remember it a little differently. I think we won that one. Didn't we win?
We did win.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because then we went out after that night, and remember, and there was that. We went to that place, and never mind. But anyways, I remember Cody Deaner cheating, and he had powder or something in his hands, throwing it into my face, and then tricking me into pile driving my partner here, Anthony Darko. Either way, we won. And wow, isn't that a great idea for a guy like Eric Young, okay? Why would you come all the way home to his home country, obviously of Canada, just to almost get put on the bricks by, he's coming in here and we're going to beat him up. Are you going to go back to your palatial, castle, wherever the hell you come from, wherever you live now? Why don't you just stay in the United States, my friend? Because every time you step foot back in here, you're liable to get your neck broke.
I still remember the first night that I met Eric Young. It was pouring rain, and I heard a knock at the door, and I opened up the door, and there he was in a little basket on my doorstep, and he was just a little baby. And I remember I picked him up, and I held him in my arms, and I took him out of the cold, and he looked up at me. He was just a little baby, and he said, "Quit living for yourself." And I've never forgotten that day.
Wow. That's big stuff right there, man. That's big stuff. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing.
Maybe we ought to move on to something a little more reality-based. A cold dose of reality was in store for the Ring Truck crew when the two of you launched an attack against first Uncle Custom.
Yeah, we did.
Injuring his hand, almost putting him out of action for months. And then you went on to attack his partner, Mikey J. What even fueled this heinous attack on those two?
I hate Mikey Jenkins more than anything else in the entire world.
Okay, do you care to elaborate?
I'll come in there real quick here. He's bad at wrestling.
Yep.
He's bad at wrestling. And there's one more thing.
He's a bad person.
Oh, he's a terrible person. I got to tell you this, Adam. The fact that, that they even thought they were in our league was insulting right out of the gate. And I kind of blame Asher a little bit. He signed the paperwork. We didn't even know what was going on. We just showed up and these two losers come in the ring. I remember Custom from 100 years ago when he mattered, but oh my God, is that his nephew? What is he? Darko, do you remember? Nephew, his son, what is he?
If it's his son, he should have got the abortion.
Well, there's that. But I'm not too sure. But it's insulting just that they're in the same conversation as us. So I'm
Every
insulted.
time I see Mikey Jenkins walking around holding that tag team championship, I vomit for at least an hour. I vomit every time I see a picture of him holding a title belt in professional wrestling. It makes me sick to my stomach. I might go throw up right now.
It's true. I've seen it.
Well,
No.
please,
It's okay, man.
before we have anything of that nature on this programming, we will talk about the fact that, yes, you did lose the Canadian Tag Team Championships to the Ring Truck Crew. And since that time, you guys have been very adamant about trying to get those championships back. As a matter of fact, Tornado, you had a scheduled Canadian Heavyweight Championship shot against Scotty the Body, and you put that aside so that you and Darko could once again chase that Canadian gold. Now, you weren't successful just yet, but does this mean that you have fully committed to the Deadly Venoms as a tag team in your quest for recapturing that gold in 2025?
Well, look, we play Clue. No, we play Risk, right? Is it Risk or Clue? What do we
Risk
play?
the one with the cities where you have to conquer the cities.
The one you conquer the cities?
Yeah, I think you're looking.
Operation. That's Operation. So what we do is we play Operation, Adam, okay?
Yeah.
So we go through here, we divide and conquer. Jake O'Reilly's back. You know, Darko and I are in the house. Guess what? We're going to take all the belts. It didn't turn out good for us because there was cheating. The rules, of course, of Rock Solid Wrestling, the whole office has been against us since day one. I understand because the second we get all the belts, we rule everything. Okay? And let me tell you, we're in talks. There's other people who want to be part of this crew. You know, there's different things you got to do to become part of the gang. And, you know, if you're a Venom, you got one of these.
Yeah, we do.
Baby's right there. And if you're not a Venom, you're not invited.
I'll say this. That's a very impactful statement for the both of you heading into 2025. And given what we've seen in 2024, I think that fans of Rock Solid Wrestling will have a lot to look forward to, whether they are invited to the club or not. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time tonight. I greatly appreciate it as we take a look back with 2020.
Wait. I want to state something right now. Anthony Darko's the best professional wrestler in Rock Solid Wrestling. From the beginning to the end, he's the best.
Only because I learned from the best.
And on that little love fest, we thank you for joining us at this look back at 2024 with the Rock Solid Wrestling Rewind.
You're watching the action. Now you can get the gear. Get your hands on official Rock Solid Wrestling swag at rocksolidgear.ca. The Rock Solid store features t-shirts, hoodies, and tank tops in several designs and styles. From tumblers to shot glasses, there's something for everyone. So enjoy the hard-hitting action and show your support. Visit rocksolidgear.ca right now.